Hey guys, it's been a while since I've done a Temperament Tuesday video, and this one has been something that came to me a couple weeks ago, and you'll see why in a minute. It doesn't quite apply as well as it would have if I had done it a couple weeks ago, but that's okay. Whatever. Hope you're doing well during all of the quarantining that's going on. So today's Temperament Tuesday video has to do with, I'm going to get real spiritual on you, has to do with some of the things that Christ said when he was dying on the cross. So I know we're in Easter time right now, and in the Catholic Church we celebrate Easter for a very long time. And so it doesn't quite fit that I'm going back to the cross because now we're in resurrection mode, but bear with me. And I just wanted to share some thoughts I had. So Christ said 7 things from the cross. And there's actually an excellent book. I don't remember the title. It's something like The 7 Words of Christ and the 7 Words of Mary, something like that. But the author is Fulton J. Sheen, S-H-E-E-N. He's so good. But Mary talks 7 times in the Bible, and Jesus talks 7 times from the cross. And he did basically a chapter on, first chapter would have been like one of the things Jesus said and one of the things that Mary said, and found a way to thematically connect them. So this is kind of an homage to Fulton J. Sheen. And basically I'm taking 4 of the 7 things that Christ said from the cross, and I'm comparing one of those 4 things. I have so many Band-Aids right now. I'm comparing 4 of those things to one of the 4 temperaments. I'm comparing 4 things to one each of the 4 temperaments. It's been a long quarantine, guys. I'm going to be a little all over the place, and that's fine. So, and if you're new to the temperaments, I'll put a link in the comment section that links back to kind of an explanation of the temperaments. But if you're familiar with the temperaments, this should make a little bit of sense as we go through. So the first temperament I want to talk about is cholerics, and cholerics are the driven. They're very highly driven. They're the go-getters. They get things done. They have high expectations. And the quote that reminded me from the cross that Christ said of cholerics was, "It is finished." And I thought, isn't it like a choleric to finish? I'm melancholic, and I struggle with not finishing, not because I lose interest, but because I'm a perfectionist. Sanguines might struggle losing or having motivation see them through to the end. So a sanguine might not finish something because they've lost motivation. A phlegmatic might not finish. They might not finish something because they're unmotivated at times. But a choleric finishes things. So I thought, it is finished. That's a great example of something that could have been said in the spirit of the choleric temperament. So the next quote from Christ on the cross that I wanted to connect to one of the temperaments. The temperament is a sanguine. This delighted me when the Holy Spirit kind of brought this to the forefront for me. Christ said, "Today you will be with me in paradise." And he was speaking to one of the thieves who was crucified with him, who said, "Jesus, remember me when you enter into your reign." And he said, "Today you'll be with me in paradise." So isn't it like a sanguine to invite someone to a party? Like, that's just done. Like, it's so sanguine, right? So that quote definitely reminded me of something that a sanguine temperament could relate to. For the melancholic, which I am a melancholic, so I have a pretty good understanding of melancholy and melancholics. The quote that really stood out to me that Christ said from the cross that connected to the melancholic temperament was, "I thirst." I feel that there is a very strong sense of longing in melancholics, and I don't know if it ever goes away. It hasn't gone away for me. I'm in my 40s, and I think that really, it's short, it's sweet, and it's deep, and I feel like that really is the melancholic. This video is not necessarily short, but I think that melancholics just have this like deep desire, deep longing, deep thirsting. They're also more on the introverted side, and so some of the things that they say are well thought out and to the point. I did not practice this video, so don't use that as an example of a melancholic. So that I thirst is the melancholic one. And then for the phlegmatic, the one that stood out to me was when Christ said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." And it is so like a phlegmatic to forgive. Melancholics are very, have a tendency to hold a grudge, to be very unforgiving, to remember hurts for a very long time. Cholerics might have a deep hurt, but they usually are pretty good about airing it out right away. They're not conflict avoidant. They're not afraid to just, talk about it right then and there. Sanguines are forgiving as well. They kind of let go of things. They're not going to remember things long. And I think phlegmatics most fit this quote because they're the most laid back. They're the most peaceful, and they're very concerned about relationships. So sanguines and phlegmatics are most concerned about relationships compared to the other temperaments. And I think that phlegmatics, in their peacefulness, they really do have a sense of letting go and not holding grudges. So that was the quote that stood out to me and reminded me of the phlegmatic temperament. So I hope this resonated in some way. There are 3 quotes that Christ said from the cross that I didn't address. So maybe you have some thoughts about what those quotes might, which temperaments those quotes might resonate with. So until next Tuesday or whenever I get around to it, have a great day.